Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1499. We're one away from 1500. That'll come on Sunday as we review the first ever Madison Card Show at the Alliant Energy Center. The day before, I'm actually taking this one in stride because it's the lawnmower man just passed my window. It's Friday. We get our lawn mowed and trimmed on Friday. So it's just like all the shit that I have, and I have my note. I wrote 7 things down yesterday. Max he's like, write it down now. So I did. This pen sucks. Gel pens suck. It's my take for the day. Gel pens suck. This is the weed eater that you're going to see in the background now. I tell you, they're efficient, man. They bring like a crew of like 3. They got a weed whacker, they got a blower guy, and they got the lawnmower man. They are efficient. They're like done in like 15 minutes. Crazy. Anyway, out of the 7 things, now, most of the 7 things that I needed to do, I couldn't do yesterday. Well, actually, I could have done most of them, but I didn't. But I got 2 of the 7 accomplished. I crossed off 2 of the 7. It does feel good. People say you should make a list, and when you cross it off, you feel like you've accomplished something. I do. Even though I've only got 2 crosses, I'm like, I've accomplished something. So I bought the national tickets. I think I ended up not doing that live, but I did buy my national VIP ticket. So now we're good to go. I'm going to the national. That was never in doubt. When it's outside of Chicago, then it's like, do I really want to cross state lines? So for the next 3 years, I'll be going to the national because it's in Chicago. And then it's Detroit or Atlanta in 28. It's either in Detroit or Atlanta. Those are the only 2 options. So I don't like making plans, which is something I'm going to talk about right now. I don't like making plans for like tomorrow. I have to for the show, but do you want to go to the national in 2028? It's in Detroit or Atlanta. It's like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. So in Chicago, yeah, I'm gonna schedule around the national. But if I have to travel, the national's not that big for me. I mean, it is this year and next year and the year after that. But when it goes to Detroit or Atlanta, then it's like Detroit, I could drive. I'm not driving to Atlanta. So then it's like, do I really want to go? Although now with what I'm saying, who the hell knows what I'm going to be doing in 2028. But for right now, like I'm buying different inventory. Will I buy bulk? Maybe, but I might not. So I don't like making plans. Making plans, though, is something I want to touch on today. Hey, we're also going to play Name That Player. Due to just time constraints, I am not going to cherry pick. We're just going to do a random junk wax pack today because I had some junk wax packs, and I'm like, I don't feel like going through boxes to pull out 13 cards. So we're going to do 15 cards from a junk wax set. All right. I don't like making plans, and I think we all know that. We're nearly 1,500 episodes in. You know I don't like to plan. My wife is the ultimate planner. She knows what we're going to eat for dinner on September 17th, 2027. Me, I don't know what I'm having for breakfast in an hour. Do I have oatmeal? Do I have a bagel? I'll figure it out when I go into the kitchen. I hate planning. I feel handcuffed, and I've tried it. I don't like it. Now with the card show, I have to plan. Like, it gives me anxiety. Planning gives me anxiety. Why is that? For my wife, being spontaneous gives her anxiety. Like, she can't handle it. I can't handle being handcuffed to a plan. But our relationship works that way. Like, I loosen her up a little bit with being spontaneous. She loosens me up a little bit with, or tightens me up a little bit with like, okay, we might have to have a plan for this. So I hate planning. I don't know if Tom's in here, but we're going to go on a field trip today. And it's like, I need to figure out, there's Tom. There's Tom. Yeah, I have a competent assistant. So I was going to message Tom. I still haven't messaged. See, I don't plan. Tom's my assistant for the card show. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on. Although we talked about the show, what we're going to do. We did talk about it after the card show in Janesville on Saturday, but we're going to go do some card show things today. And I haven't messaged him yet. You're going to hear it. Tom's going to hear it with the rest of you. So the plans always change. That's why I don't like to plan. But they're going to change anyway. It's like doing well, why do all the dishes now? They're going to get dirty again. So the plan, like as it was taking shape throughout the day yesterday, and as winter is coming, right? Winter is coming. As I was getting things prepared for this weekend, what is my plan of attack for Friday? Because it's not like the thing about my activities for my chores, my errands. I guess they call them errands. My errands for today, kind of an old-timey word, although we used it in the 80s and 90s, errands. I'm sure people still use the word today. You don't hear it used as much as you used to, errands. I got to go run some errands. I think my wife uses it. I got to go run some errands. So I have to run some errands today. The thing is, the errands that I need to run are like all over the place. Now, Bank and Walgreens, boom, like a mile away. Literally, from my driveway to Walgreens, 1 mile. And then my bank is like 2 blocks further. Boom. I can do that. I could walk there. The badge, I have to pick up the vendor badges. Those are a little further out. Those are out in Cross Plains, which is to the west of me. I have to go to the Alliant, which is to the east of me, which is it's an easy trip. But then Bonsai is all the way up in DeForest, which is up in the northeast corner of Madison. So this is where my logistics background comes in. No, this is just simple common sense. I like when people, well, you got a lot going on. I bet that logistics background really helps you out. Not really. No, it's kind of common sense for the most part. Well, look at a map. Doesn't take a logistics background to figure out a map. So, although what does take it, it's not just looking at a map and like, oh, this is the best route to go. It's timing also. And, how do I hammer out the timing of all of it? It's like Walgreens and the bank, I just need to go during banking hours. That's easy. And I'll do that probably this morning. Cross Plains, I'll probably hammer that out. I'll probably just go, I got to drop Ernie off, though, at doggy daycare. What I probably should do, I got to see what their hours are at the printing place. I could probably just take Ernie to doggy daycare, and then I'm on, like, Airport Road. Like, it's literally dog daycare is next to Airport Road, which goes to Cross Plains, or the highway. I don't know which one's a better route, but I can just take Airport Road out. Boom. Cross Plains. Nail that. Come back to here and then do get more caught up on shipping. I've got everything that needs to be shipped out today is shipped out, but I want to work ahead because I still have like 200 orders to ship out, and but those aren't due until next week. But get ahead of it. And then when I go to the west, then I can hammer out Walgreens, the bank, and then hit probably the Alliant. Actually, and then plans change. So the Alliant reached out and they're like, final layout, we're putting it together, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'd like to see it because we had to make a little tweaks, nothing drastic, but just little small things. So I just want to see how I want to see how everything looks. I might Actually, I should probably print table numbers out and put those out today. So they're like, come between 1:30 and 3:30. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I can get like Cross Plains done and my bank and Walgreens done in the morning. And then I can get other stuff done and then eat lunch and then go to the Alliant. And then Bonsai doesn't open until the afternoon anyway. Also, boom, simple. Then plans change. I get an email from the Alliant. Well, they're already done. Can you come in the morning? I'm like, oh. But I think so. If Tom's still listening, and I'll send you a message. So I think the plan is if we can meet at the Alliant at 11:30, and then you can just ride with me to Bonsai. And we could get lunch too. We can get lunch. We can go to Liberty Station across the street from Alliant for lunch, and then go up to Bonsai, drop that stuff off, pick up the coupons. If that works for you. So that's, I think, so I'll hammer out Cross Plains this morning after I take Ernie to daycare, and then hit up Walgreens and the bank. Actually, I could, since they're so close, I can do that when I get back from Cross Plains, and then that way I don't have to take care of that. I can go straight to the Alliant at 11:30. So I think that's all worked out. We had some table openings. I mean, and I know it annoys some people. And I had somebody here's the thing. And for anybody that's not a regular that may be listening regarding the wait list, I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to go down a list 1 through 50 if it's a 50 waiting list or 200 waiting list for some of the shows. I don't have time, especially on Thursday night. I don't have time to email each individual. Oh, you're number 1 on the waiting list, and I'm going to wait for a response. And if I did that, I'd still have open tables, because I reached out to like 4 or 5 dealers for the last table last night, because I had a couple open. I had one left, and I'm like, you can reserve it with payment, Venmo or PayPal. Here's the information. Crickets. One says, I think maybe I'll do another one. And this is why I do prepayment, especially with randos that like, I'll take the table. And then when you say, okay, here's where you send the payment. Oh, maybe I won't take the table. It's like, well, what was the work? I don't know. What are people's thought process? Help me out here. What is the thought process behind somebody that claims a table, but then when you have to pay for it, but it's not a free table, you have to pay. And then when you say, well, to reserve it, you need to pay, you're going to have to pay for it. And then all of a sudden it's like, something else came up. Like, what was the intent? Do you just want to claim stuff to claim it? Like, is it a power move? Like, I've got a table, even though I don't want it, and I'm not going to pay for it. Is the intent like, I'm going to try to get it for free and like walk out on you? Are you just not committed? Like, I wanted it, but I'm not going to commit, because if something better comes along, like if I get a date or if grandma needs help, like maybe they don't like to plan like I don't like to plan. Because I don't do card shows sometimes because I don't want to plan. But I mean, it's like 24 hours away, 36 hours away last night. Like, what's the intent? I had somebody reach out, and they've been on me about setting up. And I'm like, okay. That's a good point, Shane. It's a good point. So, and then I have people like just no response. And I get it's 8:30 at night. Maybe they go to bed early like I do. So, this is why I do prepayment. So then I have somebody that's been like, they've been very consistent in wanting tables, and I don't. This and this guy. Okay, this guy's really started to piss me off. Okay, maybe I missed it. So I have this dealer and just like blows me up, which is good. Like, I mean, that's how you get ahead on the waiting list. So and I said, hey, table's available. Great, I'll take it. And I said, you can secure with payment via these PayPal or Venmo. That was at 9. So that was kind of late last night, 9:30 last night. So I had like 7 people in my DMs this morning. Like, and I look, there's no payment received from anybody. And so I went ahead. I'm like, all right, table's been covered, and go to the next one. Waiting for payment from the next one. And I'm going to give it until the end of this show. And if they don't pay, I'm going to the next on the list. I'm just going to say, hey, this has been covered. Move on to the next. So this guy says, I'm not sure what you mean by this table has been covered. Do you mean that I'm locked in for this table, or that the table I was informed of has been traded away? I'm not sure if multiple people are using this email, but I inquired about payment for the table late last night and it was pending as of this morning. Please keep me posted as I've been begun preparing for the weekend. Well, you didn't pay for the table, so why are you preparing for the weekend before paying for the table? So I said it was covered with another vendor. I sent out these messages to all interested parties, first come, first serve. He says, I'll see if I can cancel my payment. I just went through and looked. That's what I was looking for. And I didn't see any, what the hell's going on? I didn't see any, there's no payment pending on any of my platforms. So frustrating, man. This is why doing on the website, because look at how much time I'm spent. Like, well, you don't even know how much time I'm spending, but like, I'm spending a lot of time to fill 3 tables, and I'm having to email all these people. Oh, I don't want to pay. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, something else came up. All right, next. No response. Your table's been covered. I'm spending all of this fucking time emailing back and forth for one fucking table. This is like the 5th person. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. All right. Tomorrow, Madison Card Show, Alliant Energy Center. Salty Bo is in the house. Hopefully, Salty Bo's not in the house tomorrow. All right, it's Friday. Serenity now. All right. So I still need to print out I don't have the roster complete yet. I've got one table to fill. I've got 14 people interested, but nobody wants to pay for it. And what I don't want to happen is not say it's been covered with somebody else, and then I got 7 payments coming in. Switching accounts fail. What the hell's going on now? There we go. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. I'll take the last TCG table if available. You got it. Payment to reserve, $80 Venmo or PayPal. Never mind. Change of plans. I won't be in town. LOL. That's all I'm LOL. So he's on the very bottom of the list. All right. This is the shit I have to deal with. Max, I'm going to share you the name of whoever that was. See if you know who it is. But it's also it's a good exercise though. I guess if there's a silver lining, it's a good exercise in knowing which vendors are more trustworthy than another. I don't know who DR is. It's like a business name. It's not like an actual name. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I think that person has a table though. All right. So this one I gave a time, like you have 60 minutes to reserve. That's what I'm going to do. I'm like, sometimes I don't have six. Like I can't, if I waited 60 minutes for every person, I'd still be waiting to fill this. Change of plans. Something came up. I'm just going to tell you, Max, I don't give a fuck anymore. The name on that last one was T-Top TCG. I don't know if you know them. T-Top TCG. Never heard of them. But they're the one that, something came up. He was advertising the Minnesota show this weekend. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. All right. Serenity now. All right, let's go to the chat. Dan's here. He's probably sleeping by now. I know we're late now. Late morning. I was actually up at 5:30 this morning, and I was gonna wake up. I'm like, I've got so much to do, and then I'm like, fuck, I got so much to do. I'm gonna sleep in. Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. Gem City, good morning. I'm playing Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, trying to get to Fanatics Fest. Yes, Brian's at Fanatics, or on his way to Fanatics Fest. I'll report later on Facebook group if I make it. Boarding now. Hell yeah. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. New York City. The Big Apple, Brian. Big Apple Brian, Fanatics Fest. SoCal guys in the house. Happy Friday. David is here. Good morning. Red Light, what's going on? Good morning. Chris, what's happening? He's in Madtown. Hertz rented me a Tesla yesterday because it was the last car. I had never driven one and didn't know anything about it. It was interesting and frustrating. I wouldn't know. I'm not very tech savvy, and I feel like a Tesla would be very overwhelming to me. Like the first time my wife had, and I think she had like a Mercedes, like when we first started dating, she had a Mercedes, and it had like the push button start. And it was like, there was a lot of like stuff going on that I'm like, I remember the first time I took it to Target, and I had to call her. I'm like, how do I start your car? I don't know. How did I get to Target if I didn't know how to start her car? Oh, I know what she drove, and I was in the parking lot, and I think the car turned off maybe. I don't know. And I wanted to turn the radio on. I'm like, hey, how do I turn the radio on? I think that's what it was. I can't remember. And she had the key, so I couldn't, or maybe I don't know. But anyway, and there was something else. One of her most recent cars, I think it was like it took me forever to figure out how to put it in park, because it was like everything else was on the shifter, but then the park was a push button. But I know how that works now. A Tesla seems like all types of tech that I would be in over my head. Tom says, thank goodness Bo has a competent assistant. Amen to that. Amen to that. Chris says, I can help if you need anything. You've given me a couple of years of free entertainment. We could meet if I can figure out my plan for the day. I think at some point mid-afternoon, I have your number, so I can text you. Do you want to meet at the card shop this afternoon? I'll be at Bonsai because I've got to drop off a poster at Bonsai, and I've got to pick up their coupons. So I said coupons, Dan, coupons. So if you want to meet, probably what time will it be? Probably early, like 1:30-ish. 1:30-ish at Bonsai in DeForest, Bonsai Cards and Collectibles. And I can text you when I know for sure. Peter's in the house. What's going on? Happy Friday. He says winter is coming. Yeah, we got a plan. Got a plan for winter. Shane says, good luck with everything tomorrow. I'll actually be in Madison today for a concert, but have to head home after. Shane, what the hell, man? What concert is in Madison? I'm curious. Weird Al's coming to Madison. I'm so excited. I'm sure tickets sold out in like an hour when they went on sale. Weird Al at Bree Stevens. Found Treasures is here. Good morning. Billy Joe says, I see the mover guy is there. The mower guy. Yeah. Jody's here. Good morning. Tom is still here. Max says, I think you're just battling with most shows our pay at the show. That is something that I think there's some other shows that may be going to a prepay method as well. I know reading Tony's blog, who runs the Oak Creek show, and I mean, I don't know how he does it month after month and like has hardly any prepay. Oof. I would be dropping an F-bomb every 3 seconds if I had to had to collect from every dealer at the show. I mean, I think I don't know. I think everything, it's not like it's 1991 anymore. Like, I mean, if it wasn't for card shows, I would never carry cash. Like, now I always have, because I do card shows, I always have cash. It's been now I give cash to my wife, where it used to be I'm always like, hey, do you have $20? I don't have cash. She's like, really? And I just use a card. I use a card for everything. Hell, every stadium now you go to is cashless. We're becoming quickly a cashless society. Like, I think we need to get used to prepay. Shane says, thought process, LMAO. Clearly, you're forgetting what business you're in. Chris says, regarding claiming a table and then backing out, yes, they think in some way they'll end up getting it for free or at a discount. And that could be back in the early days. And this is why I never offered a discount the day before or even the day of. Now, if it's like 11 o'clock and there's an open table, I'll give it like half off, like $25. And sometimes they'll negotiate with me, and like, I've got my price, and it's kind of a sliding scale. If it's noon, I'll take 20. Or 10, really. But if it's like 9, you're going to pay full price because that's when the show starts. 10, you're probably still paying full price. Once you get to 11, I'm going to start discounting. And obviously by noon, it's going to be whatever I'll pay you $20 for a table sold. You got it. But early on, I would have people wait because I was struggling to fill tables. When you struggle to fill tables, people think, well, I can wait till the last minute. And it's like, but is that fair to people that booked a month ago and they're going to pay full price? When Johnny Come Lately can come in on Friday, the day before the show, and be like, oh, you still have tables available. I'll take one for 60%, 75%. No, that's not how it works. So I'm glad I never did that. Peter says the easiest answer is this: people are stupid, people are dumb. And that I can agree with. Florida baseball card dude, what's going on? Good morning. Chris says they go to garage sales and want to pay a dime for something that's a quarter. Yeah. Just try to win. People are the worst. My wife bought me a shirt that says, I love camping because I hate people. Love it. Love it. Max says, it's funny. People are the reason I love cards. They are also the reason I hate cards. Oh, without question. Without question. In everything that I've done in life, the number one thing, the best thing about it is the people. The worst thing is also the people. And I can see that in real estate as well. Just listening to conversations my wife has. It's like, God, I hate that. But she also has, we've got great friends through her business. And I've got great friends through my business. Mikey, good morning. He's back. Orlando's in the house. Good morning. F-Bomb Friday. We are here. Peter says, no need to apologize. Mikey says, I'm one follower away from 900 on eBay. Congrats. Max says, it's what you make the big bucks for. Yeah. Orlando says, congrats. Shane says, my dad promoted card shows for over 40 years ago. Trust me, nothing has changed. Yeah. Just make it 249 tables. Don't need 250. Seen the name, but no idea. Yeah, first time it popped up. There was no history with our messaging back and forth. Mikey says, thank you, Orlando. Are you recovering well? It's Friday night. I'm awake. Yeah, party time. It's the weekend, baby. Max says, also why I don't do business with fake names or business accounts just trying to hide shit. No Jerry Rice. I don't want to buy your shit. Literally Pokemon guy out of Milwaukee. I like the name, though. Good morning, Sheena. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow is the day. Really big shoe. TD, good morning. I'd like to book a booth 3 years from now on the 14th Saturday show. Do you take scratch-offs, right? But here's and some people want to they're like, I'll pay for the whole year. And I'm like, let's because I started taking payment for the whole year. And guess what happens? Plans change. God damn it. I start the moment I start taking, all right, yeah, you can pay 6 months out. I'll get my spreadsheets in order. And then all of a sudden, oh, we don't have a May show. Oh, the June show is different table. Our Alliant show, we're charging more. Let's do the math. Now I've got fucking math to do. See what happens when you make plans? They get fucked up. Plans change. Chris says, I can do that. You can get my rant about Hertz and Tesla. Queens of the... Oh, very cool. Queens of the Stone Age. Oh, what was their song? What was their song that it probably was a mainstream song. Queens of the Stone Age. I think, and they have quite a few, don't they? Queens of the Stone Age. Where are they playing? Oh, Go With the Flow was a great song. So it would have, my favorite Queens of the Stone Age would have been probably from their first album. It would have been late 90s. All right. I don't know. What was their very first hit? I probably would have been in high school, late 90s, maybe 2000, 2001. Is this the Queens of the Stone Age album, 1998? So this is when I was listening to random music, not just, I wasn't listening to just radio songs. So I don't know. Regular John Avon, If Only Walking on You. Mexicola. I remember Mexicola. All right. The Mexicola is the only one that sounds, but that's not, I didn't think that was, I don't know. Anyway. Mr. Archer is here. Good morning. Max says, I've heard he doesn't do it at all from other vendors. Sends his wife around. Tom says, table fees over $50 should automatically be prepaid. Hey, I like that. That's a good assistant. I like that. Cash is king, and all those folks that still tip in cash. Don't get me started. Hey, but tip your beer vendor. Hey, speaking of beer, are you working today at the Cubs game? Sammy Sosa, he's back, baby. Sammy Sosa is going to be at Wrigley today, the first time since 2004 that Sammy Sosa has been at Wrigley Field. So Sammy Sosa's in town. He got in last night. Cashless is king. Max says, I've had an increasing amount of people lately want to pay by card. I may start charging 10% on any electronic and take card and tax. I have also, and not mine has been an increasing amount over zero, but I've had for the first time ever, I don't know ever, but maybe in the past I've had somebody randomly say it. But I've had a couple say it, which is more than the usual zero. And with my prepayment, I'll probably start, because I've been eating fees On PayPal, Venmo, there is no fee. But I've been eating the fee. And my motto is price it in. And so it just might be like, I'm just going to price it in. Like, well, it's $62. And then on the website, it's going to be the processing fee I have to pay through my provider. Because I've been eating all of those fees forever since I started taking online payment. Where are we at? Max says, camping sucks though. Let's go smell like fire and live outside. Give me a penthouse and a case of cards. I lean toward penthouse and a case of cards. But I like the outdoors. I would rather, I guess they call it like glamping. Like, I'm not going to camp in a tent. No way in hell am I camping in a tent. I would camp in like an RV or even a trailer, like a RV trailer thing. But I'm not camping in a tent. And I'm not a big, and I would want to do it like max 2 nights. Like, I'm not down for a week of camping. If I'm doing anything for a week, it's going to be like spring training. Bargain Boxer says my LCS still has 95% of his clients pay with a card. You can file bankruptcy when you pay with a card. It's interesting. That dude from Duryea says, what's up? I will take the cash that people don't want. I have seen a machine that charges you to turn cash to cashless. That's amazing. That doesn't surprise me though. With venues that are cash, like, man, you open up something outside, like, there's been times where, like, we're in this weird phase where, like, I have cash, I use cash, like, we're in that transitional period of cash to cashless. Whereas, remember back in the day, like, you're going on a trip, get the traveler checks, get your cash. Now it's like, you go to the gate, it's like, I got to have a bunch of cash, and it's all on a card. It's like, so you take like $200 to the game for all your stuff, and it's like, well, shit, it's cashless. And you come to find out, I bet there would be good money in that. It's like the reverse ATM. Feed it cash. Wait. A reversible ATM. You put cash in for cashless, you take cash out with your card. That's the future. I feel like that's a transitional type. That would be a reversible ATM machine is not the future. That's like a transition. That's a bridge to the future. That's like the TV VCR combo where it's like, this is the future. A TV with a VCR inside of it. The future is here. No, it's just a bridge to DVDs, which was also a bridge. DVD players, they were big for 10 years? And it just transitioned us to digital. So a reversible ATM would be genius right now, but in 5 years, it's going to be obsolete. It's going to be like the TV VCR combo. Sports card ripping teacher says, oh my God, they have them. Well, shit, my idea has already been done. Wrigley has a couple of those reverse ATM, comical to watch people try and use them. That is genius. Bree Stevens Field. Camping and concerts, 2 places you'll never see me. Fire and drugs. Their first album was totally underground. Mexicola. I think it was probably Mexicola. Fire and drugs, great name for a band. Mikey says, why don't you auction the last table to people already have a table? That wouldn't work. I actually took a check at the Madison Card Show. I do. I have one vendor who always pays by check. And then I have another vendor who sometimes pays by check, which I think I still need to cash the check from like April. Because it's like I I'm going to the bank today. Can you cash this $120 check? Actually, I could probably do that from my phone. I'm a moron, ain't I? I'm going to the bank anyway. I am working. Glad he is back. Who here is going to the National? I am going to the National. Speaking of, I don't think so. We've been talking about our national meetup. We're going to do a national meetup for everybody at some point. It's probably not going to be Friday night because I think I'm going to skip the National on Friday, which I've never done in Chicago. Well, because I don't think the Cubs have ever played on a Friday 1:20. I haven't been to a Cubs game yet this year. I'm not going to be able to get to one until the National. So I might just kill two birds with one stone and skip the National and take the train to Wrigley. So I won't be so if we do a meetup, it won't be Friday. It'll likely be Saturday night. So hopefully people are still around and we'll do a meetup on Saturday night. Probably back at Shoeless Joe's like we did 2 years ago. Peter's back. I had a dead hawk in my yard and a turkey buzzard was about to make a mess of it. Threw it in my neighbor's yard. Not my problem. Oh, I've got a dead bird that I've got to dispose of. Ran into our window and tipping in cash is actually better for those who need tips for their living. Unicorn Cupcake says, I am Dan. He's going to the National. Bargain Boxer will be at the Nationals. Owen Bo, if anyone committed for a year, you can work with them in these ever-changing situations. I can, but it's more work. That's the problem. I'm trying to do less work. And that's where the problem goes. Passing the credit card processing on to customers is now commonplace in most places. It is. I mean, what I can always cover it up and be like, well, tables are now $65 instead of $60. Or we do like some of the contractors we've used. It's this price, or if you pay by cash, it's this price. The Bee Hood dinner went well last night. And yes, we had to plan, but there were changes on the spot we had to deal with. Plans change. I hate it. That's why I don't plan. I pay only in cash. I'm asking for a discount. Including that, I would man the door because our treasurer is, a bit of a space brain and did not show up on time. It's commonplace everywhere. It's just invisible in some places. Rich says, and since I've run a show for 11 years and done the door and other things for 20, it was easier for me to do just that. Mikey says, people probably don't have the cash, so we're going to charge and then crash, and that's how most COVID collectors did it. And a lot of COVID collectors did do that. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you. Amy is 1000% correct. Planning is essential. I hate it because plans change. And then there's more work to be done, especially since you are in a new location. Proving who is really the smart one in that field. Oh, there was never a doubt. There was never a doubt on that. I'm just going to take what I want without paying. That's as cashless as you can get. Very convenient and the real future. Dan wants to know when Unicorn Cupcake and the Bargain Boxer are going. Christian's here. Good morning. Pretty sure I already saw the reverse cash machine at the Tiger game yesterday. I'm late. I'm late to the game. Friday for the Bargain Boxer. Steals and deals. Dan's also thinking Friday. Unicorn, I'll get there on Friday, but going to the show Saturday and Sunday. See you there, Corn. Rich says, checks are not good after 90 days, so you better cash that check. Really? That's not a thing, is it? I'm going to look this up. Oh, shit. It's in my car. My money bag. Don't leave your money bag in the car, by the way, which is what I just did. Mikey is not going to the National. You were there 2 years ago. I don't think we got to meet up, though. 40 days. Let's go. 2 years ago, I went for the first time in 25 years, spent $0 on cards. It was so overwhelming. Wow. I guess I could see why, because it was and it's going to be, if you've never, and it's even bigger this year than it was 2 years ago. And it was bigger than the year before in Chicago and before that. Let the mowers take care of the bird. They can mulch it with their mowers. So that's big brain thinking, because that's what I didn't do it with the bird, But I did do it. I took Ernie out and we were just walking around the yard last night. And remember, my wife said I needed to do some weeding. So I'm like, oh, I've got some, I need some downtime. So I weeded around my garden beds. And instead of like putting them in a pile and putting them in a bag, I just threw them in the yard because the mower, it's lawn mowing day tomorrow. So, if my wife's, I'm like, the lawnmowers will take care of it. And you know what? You can't even tell because it gets like sucked up. They bag it all. So that's big brain thinking. So I think what I'll do, if I ever have to weed, and so I don't have to bag it up and dump it near the pond or take it somewhere, I'll just do it the Thursday before on Thursday. I'll just do it Thursday night. Weeding night will be Thursday night. Chris says, I can also meet you and Tom for lunch. We can do that. Liberty Station, which is across the street from the Alliant Energy Center. Where are you staying? Let's see. It's good for the soil. There you go. Little extra fertilizer. We use the term convenience fee for credit card use. There you go. I like it. Convenience fee. But here's why I don't want to use convenience fee because card shows, like somebody mentioned earlier, I think Max mentioned it earlier, most card shows, you just pay at the show. So it's kind of an inconvenient fee for vendors, for especially the older folks, the older fogies that don't know how to pay on PayPal and Venmo. I've got a couple. I don't know how to do that. And it's inconvenient for them. So I've got to be careful with how it's termed. Rich says, if someone pays in advance like that, you can treat that like a magazine subscription because that was always a discount for paying up front. We do not do discounts. No, I'm not giving discounts up front because there's way more demand than supply. That is, I have most of the people that want to pay up front don't have tables. So they're like, I'll pay for the entire year if I can get into your show. I should actually charge more for that. Mikey says, I'm listing a complete 1986 Topps football set minus the Montana and Rice, grading those, but everything is near mint. I would not be interested in that because those are two of the cards that I would want out of that set. Max says, Uncle Rich, are you one of those guys that sends a text after every sentence rather than one big paragraph? Don't be that guy. George says, I have a friend that sends 3 texts to get one sentence out. Yeah. He sends 2 or 3 words at a time. Mikey says, yeah, we tried, but the time didn't work out. Sibo, even weeding has a plan. Yeah, I guess now I can plan. Until like, here's what's going to happen. Next Thursday, I'm going to do my weeding, and it's going to rain. And then the mowers aren't going to come for a week. That's what's going to happen. When you plan, I'm going to plan on weeding on Thursdays. And then the moment I do it, I've got a yard full of weeds and it rains. So my lawn mowing is delayed a week. And now I've got fucking weeds I got to pick up all over the yard. That's what'll happen when you plan. Sports card ripping teacher says, I won't name names, but I'll see some teachers driving to the school dumpster to drop stuff off. Max says, George, he would no longer be my friend. Chris says, Comfort Suites West on the border of Madison and Middleton. Oh, that's not too far from me. Unicorn says, I took the gamble on the July 27th Pokemon show. Wish me luck. Good luck. Chris says, John Q. Hammond's Drive, not to be confused with John Nolan Drive. John Q. Hammond's. I used to work on, the official address was Greenway Boulevard, my office, but it was on the corner of Greenway Boulevard and John Q. Hammond's. It was a small 2-story building. Now it's under construction. You probably drove right past it, but it's now a giant. It's going to be a giant office building. I think we had a dentist office. the first floor had a dentist office and a like a orthopedic specialist, and then upstairs was our office, and then a financial advisor. That was it. We had, and now they're going to get in the same space. They're going to get like 500 offices. And I always wondered, like, with all the development in that area, I'm like, whoever owns this land or this building should like bulldoze it. And I think we eventually moved because that was in the works. So before I left, we moved across the street to like a high rise, and I think it was open. And then all of a sudden I drove by one day and it's like bulldozed. I'm like, holy shit, our office is gone. Max says, good. I'm glad, unicorn. Dat Dude says it was a line item on the receipt. Do you hand receipts out for tables? I don't. Just wondering if dealers use them for taxes. I don't. I've had people ask, and I just tell them, make your own receipt. Like I just use, when I do cash deals, I just make my own receipt. There's a website that I use. I can't remember what it's called. It's bookmarked, but there's a website that you create your own receipt. I just use that. I know it's not official, but if you're a dealer and you get audited and you need receipts, reach out and I'll provide receipts and documentation for you. Max says, for the record, love you, Rich. Hope to meet you in Chicago. You can probably see him at, I bet Rich and I will hang out together at the Singles Club. The card booth. George says, I does test the friendship when I'm taking a weekend nap and the phone is going off like a natural disaster is coming, but really it's just Michael asking if I want to grab a beer later that night. Mikey says, I meant listing them as singles. There you go. Max says, haven't been offered an appearance contract, so my attendance at the national meetup may not happen. Yeah. Life is too short not to take chances. Once you take the first one, watch out. What ifs is what drives me now. Very true. Dan says, I thought the Singles Club was no longer cool. Oh, it's still cool. It's not as cool as it used to be, but it's still cool. Rich says, this took me a while to figure out, but I think one of the purposes of doing Hobby Evolution is Bo sorts out what he needs to plan in real time. Yesterday, I wrote my to-do list thanks to Max. Like, write it down right now. Like, okay. There you go. All right. So it is a good way to talk it out. I talk it out and it's like, oh yeah, I need to do this. Let's play Name That Player. Because I didn't have time to plan, we are going to do a junk wax pack. Here's the leaderboard. Max in the lead. 26, Uncle Rich in second, tied with Shane, 2020. And in fourth place, we got that dude from Duryea. A MIA Michael Renicky is in fifth with 7 points. All right. What year is this? 88 Donruss. The old Stan Musial. All right. Again, I'm not going to look at my phone, so whatever comes up first on my screen. Name that player. San Diego Padres pitcher. Name that player. I drank all my water. Too many. I think the more F-bombs I drop, the more water I drink. It is Ed Whitson. Ed Whitson. We're just going to dump this straight in the trash. I threw a ton of hockey cards away yesterday, probably like 1,000 hockey cards, because I needed the box and I didn't want to go through the hockey cards. I'm pretty sure they were probably cherry. There was nothing good in there. Shane with the point. Shane takes second place. And now I'm throwing away 1988 Donruss. All right. Let's see if I think it's been about an hour, right? See if this guy has gotten back. Oh, now we got awesome. Confirmed. All right. So last TCG table finally. All right, next up, this is an easy one. Some poor boy in Africa would have wanted those cards for shame. I know, right? Oh, this is not Ed Whitson, by the way. There we go. Peter says, I am not starting the 1988 Donruss Matters movement. It is Cecil Fielder, that dude from Duryea. That dude from Duryea. You want to do an experiment? Should we put this on eBay Live Sunday night? Let's just, for fun, let me see if there's any other bigger names in here. I don't know. Cecil Fielder is pretty big. Let's put Cecil Fielder to the test. And we're going to run this card on eBay Live Sunday night and see if we get any bids. I'm going to set it right there. Okay. Who got that? That dude from Duryea. That dude. So he is in 9th place. Or wait, he has 9 points, and he's in 4th place. All right, next up. Cecil's your guy. Here's Chest Hair LaRue. Look at the stash. Almost got a unibrow going. This dude's got facial hair coming out every orifice. That dude from Duryea, Dad. It's Rick Shue. Rick Shue. It fetches $3. I bet it'll sell. 88 Donruss Cecil Fielder. I bet it'll sell. Rick Shue. Who got that first? Shane with the point. Oh, he was the only person that got it. Shane, we're starting to get a game here. 26-22 at the top. Rich in 3rd with 20. Where's Rich? Ouch. All right, here's another one. LA Dodgers. Not Steve Sachs. A lot of people thought it's Steve Sachs. It's not Steve Sachs. It's Mickey Hatcher. Shane just beats out Rich. Mickey Hatcher. All right, next up, we got a twin. Oh, I need my coffee. Ugh. All right, next up, Minnesota Twins. It is not Kent Herbeck. Max, if we have these weeks, it'll be 50-5 in favor of Shane. It is Al Newman. Shane just beats out Rich. Al Newman. Al Newman. All right, next up, Montreal. Ooh, this is kind of a tough one. Montreal Expos. Again, we're doing last name only. Don't need the first name. And it's got to be spelled correctly. This is a tough one. McClure is correct. Rob McClure. That dude from Duryea. Oh, man. And I slept in today. What the hell? All right, next up, we got a Diamond King. Diamond King. Atlanta Braves. Also, man, the 80s. The 80s brought some great stashes. Rich says, we noticed you slept in. Remember, we got who got it? John got it first anyway. Mike or Mike. Glenn Hubbard. Glenn Hubbard. John with the point. Oh, yeah. John, that's your first point this round. It's probably because it's already 9:40 and I haven't had my coffee. My body's like, hey, where's that caffeine? Next up, we've got the Orioles. We've got some Orioles. Yes, it is a stretch on some of those Diamond Kings. Baltimore Orioles. Last name only. Young is correct. Shane with the point. Ooh, Devereaux's a good guess. He does kind of look like Mike Devereaux. Mike Young, though, is the correct answer. Uh-oh, we got a 1-point game at the top. Uncle Rich, no points today. He's been the bridesmaid to Shane a lot. Here we got a Seattle Mariners. That dude from Duryea says, these cards mean more than any prism, but I am old. Last name only, must be spelled correctly. Seattle Mariners. It is not Davis. It's not Bradley. It's Brantley. Mickey Brantley is correct. We got a tie game. We got a tie game. 26-26. We should probably spoon feed Max next week, huh? All right, this is going to be a tough one to spell. You might, well, I mean, you probably. I would struggle with the spelling on this guy. Cincinnati Reds. Last name must be spelled correctly. It is not Chris Sabo. It is Asaski. Nick Asaski, and that's spelled correctly. Shane takes the lead. Rich with the misspelling. 27-26 at the top. All righty, and now we're going Royals next. All right, next up, we've got the Kansas City Royals. Nick Asaski was what happened at the end of his career? Oh, we got some people like trying to guess superstar names. Like it's not George Brett, Bo Jackson, or Brett Saberhagen. It is Jamie Quirk. Shane. Catcher Quirk. And that's 28. Next up, we still have 4 cards left. Toronto Blue Jays. Unicorn says this game is very ableistic. Centric. Oh, retired due to issues with vertigo. Yikes. Not George Bell. Let's see. It is Upshaw. Shane with the point. Willie Upshaw. Willie Upshaw. (29-26). Next up, we got the Astros. Again, correct spelling. This is a kind of a tough one to spell. Houston Astros. The last two are easy. The last one's super easy. It is Bob Knepper or Knepper. Spelled correctly. Shane with the point. Shane running away on 88 Donruss. What a shitty pack we've had, too. Imagine opening this pack. All right. Next up, we've got the Yankees. Peter says this just means Max will get 14 next week. Pronounced Nepper. K is silent. There was a florist in the Quad Cities called Knees. It wasn't knees. It was Knees. Rick Roden is correct. Shane's faster internet prevails. Rick Roden. That's 31. And we've got one last one. This next one's probably the easiest of the whole pack. Easiest of the whole pack. And it is the Chicago White Sox. It's not Thresh or Brett or Gwynn. It's Jack McDowell, and you know what? Shane gets it because that dude from Duryea misspelled it. McDowell. Jack McDowell. Maybe we'll run that on eBay Live. Blackjack McDowell. Shane was first, Max second, Rich third. And Shane with the point at 32. All right. Shane takes the lead, 32-26. Rich in third with 20. Oh, I got two Shanes on there. There we go. All righty. Blackjack McDowell. That's his rate. Yeah, rated rookie. Rated rookie. Yeah, your first one was correct, but you were second to Shane. Shane was first. That dude from Duryea was first, but it was misspelled. Shane was second, and he was first with correct spelling. Max was third, second with correct spelling. I wouldn't take off for the capital C. And then Rich came in, and then Max came in with a second guess. Let's see. Lowercase d misspelling though too. Yeah, I'm not going to take off for capitalization. Not going to take off for capitalization. All right. Thank you, Shane. Have fun at the concert tonight. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you tomorrow at the Alliant Energy Center Madison Card Show, 9 to 5. Extended hours for the bigger show, 250 dealer tables. We're now sold out. $5 admission, 12 and under free. You get a $5 off coupon to be used in store Saturday or Sunday at Bonsai Cards and Collectibles in DeForest. All right, I think that's it. I'll be back here on Hobby Evolution Sunday morning at some point. I don't know what time at some point, but I do know because I plan my eBay Lives. My next eBay Live is on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central. All right, have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see you tomorrow at the Madison Card Show.